Hey fellow freelancers, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another Anthem video. We got some huge day one update details here to go through today. Look at all these changes coming for day one. So we're gonna go through it all here in this video, so stay tuned and let's check it out. Alright guys, before we get into it, I just quickly have to get something off my chest. I've been really positive about the game, and I've been noticing comments of people saying I'm the only one positive about the game, and looking around at some YouTube videos, it does seem like this game is getting a lot of hate. I've checked out some of the reviews, I've seen the debacle on the demo videos out there. I've already addressed it in a video in the past. It is absolutely crazy to me. This isn't Fallout 76, guys, and it's getting just as much hate, if not more. Now let me quickly state something. A lot of the people out there, YouTubers, you guys commenting, you're all getting caught up in the early access issues and making massive negative reviews and comments saying this game is trash and broken, when there have been several developer posts saying we're working on it, guys, we're working on it, guys, it's going to be fixed by day one, and here is the proof in this video today. I don't understand what the sense of reviewing an early access portion of the game is when the release is only a week later. Can you not just wait a week and give your honest review when it comes out? Anyways, that's what I wanted to get off my chest, because I've been extremely positive and I had faith in Bioware that they were going to fix a lot of this stuff, and I was like, just give it time, it's early access. So let's get into these fixes. I want to give a shout out to Glow Limo for making me aware of this post. Not even 30 minutes ago, so I'm trying to make a video on it right away. This was posted 56 minutes ago by Devin.com. And he goes, just got sent these by PR, don't have any inside info, just got the email. I'm pressed and I thought I'd share. Thanks for the gold, kind anonymous Redditor. Day one update details. High level fixes, improved loading times. That's the biggest complaint out there right now, and people are, don't buy this game, it's got bad loading times. Well, again, guys, it's early access. Review the actual release of the game. I'm gonna stop saying that now, but you'll see this trend going forward. Fix many infinite loading screens. I actually haven't had an issue with that yet in early access, but yes, in the demo. Fix multiple challenges not tracking properly. A number of issues have been fixed that were causing players to disconnect or crash. I actually haven't had that issue either. Weapons and gear now have numbers present for modifiers. General fixes and improvements. Loot reveal and expedition summary now correctly played during the end of expedition screen. The gather party mechanic has been made more lenient in number of situations. I believe that means the tethering, you get too far from someone and it moves you back to them. That's actually really good, and also a big complaint. At the end of the expedition screen, players will no longer get stuck recording victories or skipping all. Game no longer hangs in Javelin menu when unlocking the second, third, or fourth Javelin. During the mission, what freelancers do, dying after killing Junk Maw and freeing Arcanist leaves you unable to progress. This has been fixed. Challenge is now unlocked for players at the correct levels. Fix some camera issues during cutscenes. Legendary contracts can now be accepted from the social hub contract board. Some enemies have had their shield values decreased. Loot now properly drops from players who are downed. For players who are downed. The texture quality on NPC Prospero has been improved. Final boss of strongholds now drop loot instead of only being shown at the end of screen expedition. Yes! I was like, this is so anticlimactic, killing a boss, not having a chest, and not seeing loot splooge out. So that's great. Fix the timeouts on echoes and relics to prevent griefing and to handle disconnects properly. Players can no longer fall through the floor during the third trial of the Fortress of Dawn. Completing the tutorial expedition now show the correct ranger appearance. After disconnecting, rejoining an expedition will now take you back into the squad if you were in one previously. Corrected an issue where players could not interact with each other in the launch bay in certain circumstances. Corrected an issue during mission bad deal where outlaws won't spawn, blocking progress. The start of expedition screen has been improved. Addressed a variety of situations where killing enemies does not properly progress world events. Opening a chest now increments Tomb of the Legionnaire progress for all squad members present. Scar snipers can no longer shoot through Storm Shield. Corrected an issue where players players would get stuck on the end of expedition screen in some situations. Players will no longer get disconnected if joining, finding old friends mission while the cinematic is playing. Address a number of situations where players can get stuck on the environment in the launch bay. Increase the damage of electric status effects. Corrected an issue where the Shield of Dawn could be crafted with less materials than intended in some situations. The Platinum Mission feat now grants completion as intended. Status effects can more reliably be applied to Titans. Strongholds. Fix an issue that would cause a stronghold server crash after defeating the last boss. Temple of Scar. Players can no longer get stuck in the mine tunnel in the explosive room. Temples of Scar. Players can no longer be blocked from entering the explosive room during due to fog. Fix tyrant mines so people that join the stronghold in progress do not end up locked away from their team. I actually had this. What's going on here? I was locked in a tunnel. Oh my god, I just quit out. Adjusted lighting in tyrant mine underwater section to make it easier to navigate to the exit. I've seen a few people get lost. The swarm tyrant will no longer get stuck inside of the cave entrance in some situations. Corrected an issue where players would spawn into different areas of the tyrant mine in certain situations. Gear and weapons. After having first pilot unlock suit after tutorial, creating a new pilot and going to the forge no longer causes load screen hang. Ice damages are now correctly applied on ice gear. Suit wide bonuses from inscription are now functioning properly. Players can no longer salvage equipment items. Javelin specific gear and or weapons are no longer able to be used on javelins they aren't intended for. Corrected an issue where some circumstances of masterwork components do not have any inscriptions. The endless siege masterwork autocannon no longer displays a damage increase of 0% on the tooltip. Javelins. The Colossus Javelin is now able to activate its shield more quickly after using an ability or firing a weapon. Storm Javelin now reacts to getting hit when its shields are up. Fixed an exploit that allowed Storm's ultimate attack to be used more times than intended. The Colossus Javelin can now shield and revive at the same time. Wow, that is awesome. Interceptor combo aura has been increased in power and now has a damage over time component. And I did read this in my previous interceptor buff patch notes. It's going to be 3 times longer, the aura. So it's going to last 3 times longer. Crafting. Non-masterwork materials purchased from the crafting store now show as their proper rarity instead of incorrectly showing as masterwork. Additional mouse and keyboard control improvements have been made. UI. Some conversations were not popping up the reputation points post conversation completion. This has been fixed. The squad screen now displays the correct information for each player. Fixed a number of issues where subtitles will no longer get stuck on the screen after dialogue has finished as often. Settings should no longer reset upon exiting and restarting the game on Xbox. Motion blur can now correctly be turned off. The electric status effect now shows scale damage properly. An option has been added to hide the squad member HUD. I don't know why you would want to do that, but okay. The edge of the compass will now pulse to indicate enemy locations. That's awesome. A notification has been added in Fort Tarsus if a player's vault is at the cap of 250 items. On the repair of the Strider step of cry for help, the search radar has been adjusted correctly to lead the player to all 4 tools. Primer and detonator icons have been added to all interceptor gear. Icon. Shouldn't that be done for all? Maybe they meant to say javelin, because we want to know what primer and detonators are for all the javelins, right? Not just the interceptor. I wonder if that's a typo. Corrected a user interface issue where a player's ultimate would show as available when it isn't. So holy freaking moly, we blasted through that, you guys. Now there are more fixes coming than just this. I'm actually sure of it because I've seen the devs talking about certain things on other Reddit posts. There's a lot of information out there where they're saying we're working on it. You know, this is the day 1 update details. It's not the official full list of the patch notes. Those patch notes will come in full, and we still have 4 days to go. So they're going to be fixing more and more issues, and there have been many things that they said, like improved loading times. They are going to be improved for release, but they're going to be further improved post-launch as well. There are certain quality of life features that I remember them talking about in the dev stream. Like they said, were changing the UI for the map section. I don't know if we covered that here in the UI, but they are making drastic changes to the overall UI. We can expect more balance changes for the Interceptor, and I think there's a couple for the Colossus. So there's a lot of really good stuff in here, and I'm sure there's a lot more to come as well. So when that happens, when the patch notes drop, I will be covering it here on the channel, guys, so be sure to tune in for that. But this is huge. This many bug fixes from early access to launch, with more possibly to come. And if you guys have seen the roadmap of the calendar roadmap that they plan to release, and this will include the Evolving World Stronger Together and the Cataclysm, which have new events, quality of life, new rewards, expanded progression system, new strongholds, guilds, and leaderboards, new missions, and the Cataclysm. A big stronghold is that's a big one right there. And I have a feeling that the expanded progression system has to do with Fort Tarsus, because originally they said Fort Tarsus was expandable, and I played through the story and I did not experience expanding Fort Tarsus. So I believe that content is on the way, and that's going to be included here. And then there's also talks about a talent tree coming to the game, which was recently axed and the stats were moved over to components, and now they're talking about bringing one back in. So yes, this is post-launch, a month after launch, but the reason I wanted to bring that up here was look at all this content that's being fixed, and these are all the issues that people are complaining about. Every single issue and gripe that you have, that you're complaining about in YouTube videos, comments, blah blah blah, it's being addressed right here, right now. And this is an early access game. Early access, it says it right on the game, early access. Having said that, we should be reviewing the release of the game. That would be fair to Bioware, as they have stated this is early access. How many games have we reviewed in the past and looked at and go, oh, it's early access, and we give them a pass? We don't give Bioware a pass? I don't understand that. Anyways, I'm very passionate and heated about this because this game is getting as much, if not more, hate than Fallout 76. It's a complete debacle, but it's a really good game in my opinion. I'm enjoying it thoroughly, and March shows a lot of promise for new content as well. Bioware is on it, you guys. They're on it. They're making this game good. So that's my thoughts on it. That's my rant. There you have a look at the day one update details. We'll go back into it in further detail when the official patch notes launch, so stay tuned for that, guys. Hit that subscribe button, and if you guys enjoy the show and the content on the channel, please do consider supporting it further through Patreon. Any little bit helps. All right, fellow freelancers, that's gonna do it for me here today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.